Hey yo, my dude. How are you today? I don't trust myself not to accidentally throw my Joy-Con today. Because I threw the broom at work like 3 times on accident. Just floop right out of my hands. Also, at some point in time today during stream, I'm going to have to take a minute to properly log back into Twitch because it logged me out and it's being a pain in the butt. Why is it Twitch codes when they send you one over your phone takes like half an hour to get? Let me turn my light on. There we go. Ugh. Alright, I should be going to at least 1900 today. I still haven't decided if I want to do an extra 100. Probably not. I slept kind of wonky yesterday and today. Also a reminder for everybody out there who drinks out of water bottles with the straw. I don't think that's considered a nipple, but one of these, clean those out really good. Because I cleaned mine out yesterday because it was nasty. Was that number 3? I didn't see what number 3 was because I was telling you guys to clean out your water bottle nipples. Yeah, right. Maybe get lucky today and get shiny. Dad's watching Superman. Man of Steel, I think. Eddie's got it up loud because he can't hear squat. Hope everybody had a decent day yesterday. Mine wasn't too bad. And I got to walk Stella this morning and I got back to the house and my shoes weren't just absolutely soaked, which is nice because I hate wet sneakers. Do I have an Omanyte from the doctor? Thank you, Omanyte. Thank you, Omanyte from the doctor. Thank you, doctor. I don't know, maybe I should have gone with my original plan and just taken a nap. Had a funny moment yesterday evening. We ordered out for dinner. And I was trying to order a medium fry. And I guess the dude on the other end couldn't hear me well because he's like, we don't have Sprite. What? Yeah, we don't have Sprite. We have Pepsi products. Like, I didn't ask for a drink though. My dude, fries. French fries. He's like, oh. And so I got a good laugh over that. So another one of the Pokemon rumor videos for Ruffled Rowlet. I don't watch them because I don't even want to do potential spoilers for the presents in a couple of weeks, but I do like poke at the title just out of curiosity. And this one's like rumors for Red 2 and Blue 2 for Switch 2, and it's like no. Immediate no. Like, we do not need another remake of Red and Blue or a Gen 1 Kanto game unless it's like a Legends game or set like 200 years in the future. Come on, my people. And no, we don't need this. We got Kanto in Gen 1. We have Kanto in Gen 2. We got Kanto with Fire Red and Leaf Green. We got Kanto with Heart Gold and Soul Silver. We got Kanto with Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. We've had Kanto in 6 different Pokemon games. It would make no sense for them to do a red blue and a red 2 and a blue 2, because I don't even know what you'd make those about. Okay, maybe if they're open world games, or semi-open world like Legends Arceus. Just with the semi-sections, you know, a ton bigger. That'd be okay, but it's like, I can't see them doing a red and blue sequel game. Because you get your sequel game for Red and Blue in Gold and Silver because they continue the Team Rocket stuff in those games. And then Team Rocket is in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon as well as Rainbow Rocket. Or however that name goes. About the... yeah, see, that's what I mean. About the only way I think I could see getting Red and Blue would be if they did the generational game, Pokemon Classics is kind of what the fan name is, where they go through and give you a game and you get like red, yellow, silver, crystal, ruby, emerald on them. That's about the only way I want Red and Blue for about another 5 years at least. Hey baby, you got up. Do you need to go outside? Do you need to go potty? Are you good? But no, that's the only way I want the Gen 1 games to return in any form or fashion if it's a collection of the classic games. That's fine. I would take another Ruby and Sapphire game before I want another Gen 1 remake. Ruby and Sapphire, Sapphire in general, is a game I've replayed so much that when it comes to playing it, it's just like, meh. Yes, exactly. And considering next year is their 30th anniversary, it would be the perfect year to do it. And then they could easily make that another system bridge game. You know, one of the games that comes out on both the Switch and the Switch 2 before Gen 10 comes out and it is only on Switch 2. Seriously, Game Freak, if you want to do that and charge us $60 for 7 game collection, or just one that has all the versions in it, which is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 games, that's fine. I'll pay you $60 for a 7 to 11 game collection. Assuming, of course, they didn't somehow manage to, like, sneak green in there or something. I don't imagine they would, but maybe. And then it would be a 12-game collection. Remember playing the first Yu-Gi-Oh game, the one for the Game Boy Color? The graphics on that game were bad. It was a fun game, though. I beat it a couple of times. Then my favorite one for the Advance was what was it, Battle City? The one where you got your own little character and you got to run around and participate in the story. I liked that one too. I only ever beat it once, but I played through it like 2 or 3 times. Sadly, I lost that game. It got left behind or something between me going back and forth between parents' houses for like summer. Alright, just double checking real fast. Make sure I hadn't missed one. You still good? Was it too noisy in there for you, baby? I don't know if they would do pinball and puzzle. Haven't pinball or puzzle been released on in the online? I was reading your message and did not see what this last Omanyte was. Yeah, that's possible. I mean, I don't know what the main differences in green is, but it probably would not take them long to go through and run a translation for it. Seeing how they have red and blue done and yellow finished already. Actually, when it comes to games like pinball and puzzle and stuff, it'd be fun of them to do a kind of little side game collection that had pinball, puzzles, the trading card games, maybe a couple of the earlier rescue team games, the mystery dungeons. Because I think you can get most of those, like I said, through the online, but it would be nice to be able to have them downloaded or on a cartridge, though I don't know how many more games they're going to produce that are actually going to be on a cartridge and not just be an unlock code on a cartridge. Those are so dumb. Pinball was it? Okay, I wasn't certain. Oh, I might be thinking of the arcade thing they did for the DS. I think it had pinball and puzzle on it. Nintendo, can you guys add Omanyte to the one on Switch? that would make my day. That like one of my favorite games when I was younger. I never finished it, but it was a fun game. I'd play the crap out of Omanyte. You know, actually I could probably emulate that with no problem. But yeah, it would be nice to see a Pokemon Classics collection. I mean, if I really want to play Pokemon Blue or Gold or Silver, I can play them on my Nintendo 64. My Yellow doesn't save the battery and it is dead, and Crystal came out after Pokemon Stadium 2 released, so it isn't compatible. No, that's a mood. That is completely reasonable. I mean, I want to Switch 2 because eventually I'm going to need a Switch 2 for games. But chances are, if I will end up getting it next year before Gen 10 releases. Maybe next spring or so. I'm just going to have to see how saving goes. But no, I fully expect I'm going to end up getting a ZA on my Switch here, which is fine. Oh, she moved. She must be laying behind the chair. I'll get tangled in my cord here. I should be getting my Twitch login code in the next 15-ish minutes. Seriously, guys, you have my phone number for two-step authentication. Why is it taking 35 minutes for you guys to send me a 6-digit code? Hold on, I gotta go impart a little bit of comic lore to my father. Alright, comic book knowledge given. Well, if it's cheaper for you to buy the games themselves, assuming you have a GameCube, then go for it. Ew, my lunch is talking to me. Ugh. I think I amused Dad when I pop out of my corner here to go impart nerdy wisdom upon him and his girlfriend when he asks questions about comic book movies. So it's always a little bit of fun whenever I can do that too. Yeah, I didn't have a GameCube. My little brother did. So I never got to play Coliseum and Gale of Darkness. Oh, yeah. No, that's a mood. When we get news for new Pokemon games in like February or whatever, I start saving for said new Pokemon game like that day, more or less. So generally by the time they release in October, November, I have the money for them. I have a friend, she's always like, oh, I can't afford that it's like, you can't afford, it's like, honey, start putting away money. It's like, it's a Pokemon game. We know the general release date always. It's like, start putting away money when I tell you about these. It's like, unless you just hit uber hard times, you can save $60 in 10 months. The Wii consoles, I switched. I went from a Nintendo 64, and this is consoles, not handheld ones. I went from a Nintendo 64 to a Switch when it comes to Nintendo consoles. But of course, I did have a Game Boy Advance, a DS, and a 2DS. But up until I could buy consoles for myself, I only had the N64 and the PlayStation 2. Yeah. We do okay. We're not like uber rich. We're in a position where we can pay for our bills and generally, pay to eat and stuff and have a little bit left over to do other things, but we don't have a lot of wiggle room. Always. Some months are easier than others. Because I think that's a lot of people right now. Have I got that dumb code yet? Can I log back into my Twitch, please? Actually, I end up buying most of my new Pokemon games with change. Dad will give me all his change except for the quarters, and then with my change and stuff, usually I can get about $80 a change a year is what my average seems to be, which is generally enough for a new game. In the rare occasion it's a 2-game year. I think I'm hearing the cat. Sounded like someone stepped into the room for a moment. Of course, to be fair, with Legends EA and then with Fantasy Life I, which came out a couple months ago, I knew both of those games were coming out at least 2 years before they came out, so that gave me time to save. I was trying to save for the Switch too as well, but my attempts at saving just kind of got ran over the last year. Definitely was not enough wiggle room to start saving for one yet. Gotta put some money into my bill bag later. No, if I like won of the lottery, like one of the big lotteries, like the millionaire kind of lotteries, I would totally go through and like do a giveaway for like 10 Switch 2s or something. So if I ever found myself with just a gross amount of money, I'd love to go through like GoFundMe and just completely fund a bunch of people's GoFundMes. But unless we get just extremely lucky with either a scratch off or the Powerball. uh, yeah, well, it is what it is. Come on, dude, don't you want to give me a purple feely monster? So I can go hunt Amistar in Sword. I did remember to check earlier. It is in Sword. I was thinking it was in Shield, but that is Kabuto and Kabutops in Shield. I will have to decide if I want to do Omanyte encounters or if I want to reset the static spawn Amistar in the caves. But that'll be after I do these. Plus that man. I had a good laugh yesterday evening. I have these little crochet squares I did, God, probably 4 or 5 years ago now, because I found a really nice yarn. It's like, okay, I'm gonna do a square blanket with and just stitch them all together. And I dug those out the other day and was like, okay, I could have swore I got yarn to go with these, and I did. I just forgot I did. So I went through my yarn again to get other colors, and gotta go through it all later and decide on colors I want to do. It's too hot out to bury myself under Mama Blueberry's blanket right now and work on it, and I need more yarn for it. So progress on that one has come to a standstill at the moment, at least until it gets cooler. Sorry, I'm waiting for the noise in the living room to die down a little bit. Loud scene in their movie. Is he racing a train? Apparently so. Besides, this is Superman. He's faster than a speeding bullet. He should be able to outrun a train easy. Wonder if they would touch up the colors in game and stuff if they released a Pokemon Classics. Probably not. It would be fun to get those though, because it'd give you a easier way of hunting, shiny hunting in those games. Well, yeah, you can shiny hunt in Red and Blue, but you're looking for like a very specific set of stats or something. I remember seeing people on Twitter and Blue Sky having showing off pictures of Pokemon that they caught in red and blue and yellow on like the arcade for the DS or the 3DS, and then they'd transfer it over to like a more recent game and it was just shiny. I don't know if I would ever have the patience to do that hunt, but it does seem neat. Mm. Yes, that's what I said. That they would transfer them to another game and then they were shiny in the other games. Of course, they didn't have shiny Pokemon in red, blue, and yellow. Those were a Gen 2 thing. Of course, to be fair, I never found a shiny in Gen 2 other than the the red Gyarados. It is neat though that you can get Pokemon in Gen 1 and Gen 1 that will be shiny in other generations. You know what I miss? And this is probably going to sound kind of dumb. I miss being able to decorate your bedroom. I know that was a gold, silver, crystal thing, more or less. But I thought it was so neat that you could trade Pokemon over from like Kanto from the Gen 1 games and get decorative items and stuff to go in your room for Gen 2. My first shiny random encounter shiny. And then my second one was a Starly in Platinum. It is funny though, considering how many times I played through like Sapphire and Fire Red and stuff and just leveled up my team to like level 100. I figured I'd run into at least one or two more, but I never did. Yeah, with the Gen 1 and Gen 2 games, if you trade any Pokemon over from Gen 1 to Gen 2, it will be holding an item when it's traded over. Sometimes it's decor items, sometimes I think it was power-up items. There might have been some berries. This has been years and years and years ago that I was able to do this because I had two Game Boys and a link cable. I still have the link cable. I'm not 100% certain where it is, but I should still have it. But yeah, you could trade items over. Because I think that's how you would get a trophy and maybe starter Pokédolls. Don't quote me on that one either. Like I said, it's been years ago. Like literally before Gen 3 came out years ago. You know, it might work if you had two 3DSs or a 3DS and 2DS and traded between the arcade games. But I only have a 2DS and I don't have the Pokemon games downloaded on it, so I wouldn't know. This would be possible with the Stadium 2 if I had two Rumble Packs, but I also don't have two Rumble Packs. be something I should look into. Because so long as my battery in blue is still good. I might look into that one day, because I've seen a website or two where they do sell, like, the rumble packs and stuff for the N64. I just don't remember how much they are. Nice, you got all of them. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't buy at least a couple of them for my DS. I just, oh neat, those are here, and then I just never messed with them. Even when everybody's like, oh, get your money in so you can buy your games before, you know, the shop shuts down for the DS's. It's like, okay, cool. I did have a friend to go through and buy like every Pokemon game she could on her DS before the shop shut down. Check through these real fast. Double make sure I didn't miss anything. Yeah, I know. I really should have, but I have an N64 and I can play most of my Game Boy games on it. Let's see. Can I? Yeah, it's not hooked up. My N64, it still works. I played Paper Mario on it last year. And I have Stadium and stuff in the little basket on my shelf under my desk. I just don't want to dig them up because it is a pain, the biggest pain in the butt to get that basket like in and out. But I have blue, I have yellow, I have gold, silver, and I think I have crystal. Pretty sure I have crystal as Game Boy games. The only one I'm actually missing is red. Which honestly I should have stolen it from my little brother. He never would have noticed it was gone. I stole his copy of Pokemon Yellow once. Actually, I think my copy of Pokemon Crystal is his too, because we both got one for Christmas and mine went missing. So I took his. He wasn't playing Pokemon games when that happened. He pretty much stopped after, well, at the beginning of the second generation of them, really. He never really played the Gen 2 games. I think he played Crystal for a little bit, but he never finished them. Oh, I hate that. I hate it when games get lost because you move like houses, or just going between houses if your parents are divorced or someone steals them, or which I'm pretty sure is what happened to my Pokemon Stadium. And when I say that, I do not mean the game. I mean the electronic Pokemon Stadium they had out years ago that you could stick the little figures on. I still have the Pokedex for it, but the stadium and my 3 little Pokemon figures are gone. We think a couple of family friends with kids took that. Actually, that is totally a toy they should, like, remake. Definitely a toy they should remake, especially now that we have over 1,000 Pokemon. And they probably wouldn't have to do the little prong things and stuff for it anymore. I have actually managed to keep hold of most of my Pokemon games. Because I still have all my DS and 3DS and my Game Boy Advance ones. I really need to go ahead eventually and get me a copy of Ultra Sun or Ultra Moon. At least he was stupid enough to do that. And I was gonna assume you were able to get it back. Dude, I still have the case for Pokemon Silver, I think? Gold or Silver, one of the two. I still have the case for it. And then Emerald, I think. It's in one of the boxes under my bed, if I'm not mistaken. All my game cases for my DS games and stuff that I didn't lose are over there. Now, I always laugh when I remember Game Boy games and the little clamshell cases they came in. Because by the end of the year, it always seemed like you'd lost like at least half your clamshell cases. By the time you were like got your Game Boy Advance, it was just all games, no cases. Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry. We had a big thing when it came to X and Y with us. I didn't have money for it. And my friend is like, "Oh, well, I pre-ordered X. I'll see if they can switch mine and get from X to Y and you can have that one." Cuz we had a friend who was like, "Well, I'll buy you a Pokemon game." And instead of I looked at her like, "Why don't you just let him buy you Y and then give it to me?" And she said, "No, no, no. It's like you're doing this so the hard way, so very much the hard way." We both got our games in the end, but it was a very convoluted way we got around to it. Bless him. He bought me Fantasy Life and the DLC because he wanted friends to play with, and we did play with each other on those quite a bit for the first few weeks at least. You remember spending 2 or 3 hours on my phone because I didn't have Discord. Or a way to talk on Discord. Alright, that is 1700. Ooh, excuse me. Yeah, I had good enough friends. My games didn't generally go missing. Well, except for the one I left in Ohio with Mama Blueberry on accident. But I know where that is, and she'll take care of it, so that's fine. I got me a couple packages of those nerd cluster things earlier. The berry ones, not the regular ones. Gonna need to refill my water in a bit. It's been a thirsty kind of day. But I love it. I have one of those little... It's either 16 or 24 game cases, and it's practically full of, like, Pokemon games. Can I reach down here and get it? It might be within grabbing distance. Yes, there it is. I've got one of my controllers just shoved through the gap on that. Yes, let's see the Omanyte. But I have so many games. The Pokemon Sun actually belongs to my niece. And then the missing gap there is where my copy of White goes. Okay, I take that back. It's almost all Pokemon, and then this one here is Kingdom Hearts games. I did put my copy of... Yeah, okay, my copy of X made it back in there. I lent it to my dad's girlfriend's nephew, and he finally got it back to me a couple months ago. Twitch, are you ever gonna send me the stupid login code so I can log back in? No, not yet. I need to check my Omanyte because I've not been paying attention again. Them Zubat. I caught that Zubat when I started my Jinx hunt. I had like a 3-chain. That Zubat popped up. I went to catch another Jinx. It ran away, so the chain broke. So I said screw it, and I went and caught the Zubat. So that was 5. But yeah, I stole my little brother's Pokemon games when he was no longer really interested in Pokemon. So I don't think he ever noticed they were gone. I should have stole those Pokemon cards and stuff while I was at it. Yes, me and my little brother were very mean to each other. Kind of. That way you're just mean with siblings. He was the youngest male and I was the youngest female of... Well, he's my half-brother, so... But, you know, I was the youngest female of one part of the family and he was the youngest of the other part of the family, so I was like, okay then. So we were both kind of spoiled. Like, me a little less so as time went on, but he was definitely spoiled. The boy whose PlayStation at one point in time quit working, and the next day he had a new one, whereas I'd been trying to get a PlayStation 2 for like a year, and I kept getting told no, that it would be like my Christmas or birthday present. It's like there's a bit of a discrepancy here. It's always so funny because you watch it and it's like, okay, this is ending up to one of those weird cases where you always have money for him to go to a basketball game or something, but I can ask for $5 for a movie ticket and you don't have it. Neither of us had jobs in high school. Or if he had a job, I don't think he had one for very long. I don't think he had one in college at first. Of course, I moved out about the time he went to college, so. Yeah, it ended up fine, but it was one of those situations like, oh, you could definitely tell which kid was the baby. Oh, you guys are gonna make it past 2,000 in this hunt, aren't you? Oh. Wonder how that ended up happening. But also, yes, if my niece and nephew had like taken a game from me and restarted it, I'd have killed them. Huh. It almost sounds like you got one of the ones they like played through or something to completion as like a test and didn't delete the run it through whatever, reset it to factory default or something. Weird. But to be fair, I bought a copy of the first Kingdom Hearts game, and I didn't have it for a week, and then my nephew ended up scratching the disc so bad I could not play it. I was so mad. I should have made him take me back to that shop like immediately. I'd only had it for like a week. I was still probably under warranty for that game. That might have been the first time I went into GameStop. Because I don't think I bought it new. Huh. It was either that game or me buying Chain of Memories. Huh. That sucks. Okay then, random memory unlocked. Huh. I'm gonna stop playing over the first time I went into GameStop. Yeah. I'm going to have to assume it was a GameStop. As far as my memory goes, it was set up very much like GameStop tends to be set up. But it's also completely possible that it wasn't GameStop. Yeah, well, that's kind of funny though. God, I'm glad being a huge nerd got easier as time went on. I remember when the only place you could find like major nerdy stuff that wasn't mainstream was going to GameStop or like FYE or one of those little side stores that were always like they weren't part of like a corporation. They were always just owned by some nerdy dude. Oh, card stores. They were usually one of those stores that was a mixture of like cards, video games. They tend to have a little bit of manga and stuff. Maybe a few movies and whatnot. I miss those stores. And knowing where they were, there used to be like 3 or 4 of them in one of the bigger towns near me that my sister could take me to look for like Shonen Jump and whatnot. But now they're all just like poof gone. Of course, I don't live there, so I don't know where anything is there. I can remember seeing my first strategy guide in a store. Uh, when I was in 6th grade, I got braces. And my dentist was in the next big town over. My sister lived there. So the night before, we met her about halfway. It was about an hour drive. So we met at a gas station, a bit more, about 30-40 minutes our way, and then about 15, 20, 25 minutes her way. And it was winter, so it was dark out at 5 o'clock. And she took me back to her place, her and her husband, and they were living with a friend. Cool dude. And we dropped my stuff off, and hey, what do you want for dinner? And we'll go drive around and have a little bit of fun while they cook it, and maybe go to Walmart or this little. I say little, it's it being smaller than Walmart. This store that has a bunch of game stuff and movies and magazines, and had a little section filled with it was probably strategy guides. I just remember they had a strategy guide for Red and Blue. And then my sister let me pick out a movie, and I think it ended up being The Mummy Returns. Then we went and got pizza and stuff and had a fun evening. she bought me a 2-liter of Pepsi. And because this was you can't have pop after you get your braces on, which that lasted the first six months or so, and then it was just all the pop. So she's like, you're not gonna be able to have pop for a long time after this. She goes, I'll get you you can drink the entire thing. I think I drank most of it. We had a fun evening. We stopped by Walmart, and she got me a fuzzy poster to color, and all that fun stuff. No, I was the only one out of the kids who, well, I can't say anything about the oldest sister because I don't really know how into gaming she may or may not be anymore. But I was the only one who got bit by it hard. I've got to sneeze. Oh, I hate it when that happens. Ah. Oh, the worst thing in the world is when you sneeze and your like ear pops. Ugh, I hate that. It always hurts for a minute. Oh. Yawn, do ear pressure, however that's supposed to work. I'm gonna yawn and not be able to stop. Excuse me. Mm. Oh. Alright, guys, let me go refill my water bottle real fast. I'll be back in a moment. Alright, I have returned. Twitch, it's been over an hour. Where is my code? Oh, excuse me. Yeah, it better have been sent. Seriously, I have not gotten one. It's been an hour. Sorry, I'm having a fight with Twitch. not sent these to my email or something, has it? And I'm just dumb? Hopefully not, but I wouldn't put it past myself. No? Okay, it's just being dumb about sending me my code. I hate that. I'm sorry, but if you're gonna send a code to my phone and it's not here within like 10 minutes, I have a right to complain. Especially considering they logged me out and are not letting me back in. Jesus, this movie is weirdly loud and weirdly low in most places. I'm going to assume someone just got thrown out of a helicopter. My dad's watching Man of Steel. Good Lord, lady. Oh my god. So, there's some new stuff up on Pokemon Pokemon Center website. And it's their, I don't know what it is, a bi-monthly thing of card cases and sleeves and the playmats and stuff. And one of the playmats is how about said Furfru, Fido and Dashbun, and then like the Sinistea and Poltergeist and Poltergeist and Sinistra and the Evil Teas. It's cute. And not me very lightly shopping around for another mat when mine is still perfectly good. Should look and see if I can clean it with a little bit of Dawn or something, though. It does need a light wash. I don't know if I could... If putting it in the dishwasher would... If I put it in like a pillowcase and put it in the washing machine, if that would hurt it. I would hope not, but I have no idea what it would cause the cloth on it to separate from the rubber mat underneath it. Oh my god, the chocolate dude did the Daily Planet. I don't know what else to call it. The statue thing they have at the top of their building that the planet spins and then it says Daily Planet on it. He did that out of chocolate. He is so uber talented. He makes so much fun stuff. Every time I see one of his videos, it's like, ooh, what has he done now? Other than make me want chocolate. I love it. I've been seeing this short that is apparently talking about Jason Todd from the Batman comics, I think. And the picture they have up on this short is Terry McGinnis from Batman Beyond, and it's like, wrong dude, people. Yeah, I'm not well versed in DC comics, but it's like, I know a little bit. I know enough to tell you that that is the wrong dude. Though still technically Bruce's son. The Justice League United episode where you find out that Terry is technically Bruce's son is kind of messed up. Does he? Yeah, doesn't he meet him in the Joker movie? Because I know Barbara ends up the new commissioner. I need to rewatch Batman Beyond. My favorite episode was Ace in the Hole. Look, poor Jason just got screwed over by life in that movie. It was a nice twist, though. I think I have the DVD for that. I had a DVD that had the Sub-Zero movie and then Joker Returns on it, I think. Need to go and rewatch some of the classic DC cartoons. Batman Animated, Batman Beyond, Justice League. Loud part of the movie again. I need to do some superhero nicknames in Pokemon. Well, some superhero identity nicknames in Pokemon. Dad put on a movie and now he's sleeping through it. Need to rewatch the Batman and Robin movie where Mr. Freeze, Arnold Schwarzenegger is Mr. Freeze. Because I love it. I remember seeing it in theaters when I was little and, yes, this is awesome. And then watching it again like 15 years later and going, oh my god, half this movie is just so corny. But it's a fun kind of corny. The part of the opening scenes where it like focuses on their butts for 3 seconds. That's not really necessary. It's like, thank you for the fan service, but that's not necessary. No, you're fine. Them fighting over poison ivy in the rich people auction. Robin being like, I'll just borrow money from you to do this. And he's like, you can't because I'm using it all. And then he pulls out a black card that's got the Batman symbol on it. It's like, I don't think they're gonna give Batman his own credit card. It always felt bad for Mr. Freeze. Because really all he wants to do is cure his wife. I'm gonna have Superman music stuck in my head all evening now. Go away, fly. One of those days where there is a single fly in the bedroom. And it won't land long enough for me to squish it. But they do like flying around my face. The new Superman movie does look like it'd be good. I'm glad it's not just dark and drab and dreary like so many of the last ones have been. Like, look, I'm all for realistic, down, dirty, and gritty superhero movies, but it's like, come on, guys, it's Superman. He's bright and colorful. He's the daytime to Batman's nighttime. And I mean that literally, because, like, I remember half the Superman cartoons always taking place during the day. And then you get the Batman cartoons, which are always taking place at night. Also, I love how, like, 70s coded the new Fantastic Four movie is. Like, yes, it very much takes place in, like, the 60s or 70s. I've been poking around in Naruto again a little bit. And This is one of the fandoms I dabble in, and it comes in kind of waves. I won't touch it for 3 or 4 years, and then I'll read like a fan fiction or watch a video or something on it, and it's like, oh hey, poke around in Naruto for a month or two. And then having that realization about how messed up like Naruto and Sasuke's childhoods are. Because one, you have this small child who's apparently been living on his own since he was like 5, if not younger. And then you have a small child whose older brother slaughtered his family, and they left him living by himself in the building. It's like, guys, I get war orphans and stuff for a thing in this, but, guys, the third Hokage, someone needed to have a conversation with a frying pan with him. Like, dude! And I know half of these little events are supposed to be like power plays, and the reasons why are revealed later in Shudapin and whatnot, because all the stuff with Donzo and the Uchiha apparently planning a coup and all that stuff, but it's like, guys, who is it who writes it? Kinomoto? No, I might be thinking of Dragon Ball Z. That is a completely different person. It's like, guys, no. When you get the situation where, like, apparently the entirety of the town or the city or whatever knows Naruto is the Kuibi's Jinchuriki, whereas I'm gonna guess that they didn't with his mother or Mito before him, and it's like, dude, you literally have an entire town hating this 5-year-old for things he had no control over. That's messed up. Especially considering his parents probably had half a dozen friends who'd have taken him in. I don't want to dig him out from under the bed. I had half a thought of digging out my Shonen Jump and rereading some of Naruto, but I don't want to get him out from under my bed. One day, eventually, they will end up back on a bookshelf, but that's not going to be anytime soon. I would need another shelf. Alright, almost to 800. Excuse me. I had one of those nights last night where my sleep was really, really wonky. Not so much bad, but it felt like I woke up like every 2 hours and then would lay there for 15, 20, 30 minutes and then go back to sleep. And then sometimes, I don't know if I actually went back to sleep or if I was just laying there for an hour and a half with my eyes closed, trying to sleep. gotta do dishes after I finish this stream. I was gonna do them before, but I went in the kitchen to do them, and my dad's girlfriend had a thing of jumbo shrimp thawing in the sink for lunch. I'm like, okay then, I guess I'm waiting. Which is no big deal. There's probably not 20 minutes of dishes in there. It looks like a lot of stuff, but it's a pizza tray, a pot that we had noodles in a pan. Needs more plates than anything. Alright, almost done with this batch. Uh-oh, Superman music's kicking in again. This is whimsical. He must be flying. Alright, this should be the last one, unless I'm just one off. Oh, I was one off. That happens on occasion. Alright, there we go. Round 2 finished. Hi, Pikachu. Alright. Get this third round done and over with. Oh, hey, the sun came back out. Been a little cloudy today. It's actually been pretty nice. Dang, lady. To be fair, though, if I was flying through the air, I'd probably have the same reaction. Or I think she was falling. I thought I heard wind effects as she was, like, plunging downwards. Not a huge fan of heights. I'm okay in planes, but, like, that's about it. I can do some roller coasters. Me and a friend went to Universal, and like 90% of the rides we rode were just the ones you sit down in and you're in like a building. We did do the Gringotts ride. I think we did that one like 3 times. That one was pretty fun. Then we did the Hogwarts one twice. And then the Flight of the Hippogriff once. We did the Jurassic Park ride once. We did the King Kong ride, which was really one of those ones where it drives you around on a track for a little bit, then sticks you in this space with like 3 screens around you and shakes you around, which is basically what the Fast and Furious ride was. We did the Late Show, whichever one it is that has hashtag the panda. I don't remember. We did the Spider-Man ride. The once or twice. I think we ended up doing the Transformers ride like 3 or 4 times. We did the Hogwarts ride in the first round, the lady's shoe, because she's wearing flip-flops. It slid off of her foot, and of course, you know, they had to stop the ride 3 minutes later to go get it. So that was fun. That one's weird because you walk out onto a big conveyor belt because the ride technically isn't supposed to stop moving, and you gotta like run up to your seat and hop in. We were smart and wore well, I wore sneakers. Mama wore Skechers, the thinner soft shoes. I looked at her before. It's like, honey, do not wear flip-flops or sandals to this unless they're like the good ones that fit around your ankle good. She doesn't wear flip-flops or sandals often anyway, so it didn't much matter. Like, we're gonna be walking, we want a little bit of support for this. I'd like to go back to Universal. Actually, no, I want to go to the new park. I want to go to Burke. And I want to go to Burke. And, the Dark Realm or Dark Universe or whatever the one's called. I mean, we'd end up going to all of them anyways, but I want to go to the new one. That'd be fun. Maybe eventually, in a few years, if I'm doing good or something. Fly, would you land so I could commit a tiny murder? I would like to go to Disney too, just once. I wanted to go to, what is it, Epcot? The one that has like the tiny countries. And the one sad thing is, like, when we went to Universal, I tried to convince Mama. It's like, hey, come on, let's go spend one day at Disney. We don't need park hoppers or anything. I want to go to this one park. We didn't end up going, but it would have been fun. Why we didn't take a day and like find a big mall there in Orlando to go wander around in, I don't know. But it was fun. We got one of the Universal hotels, the Surfside. I think it was their newest one at that point. So we got to go there, and we got logged in, and went and took about an hour and a half, 2 hour nap. Tried and failed to order a pizza to the room because we were hungry. And then we went and spent a few hours in Universal. We had the early access park hoppers badge because it was part of our collective deal with the room and stuff. she was like, "Oh look, there's the Harry Potter section," because this was in like, when was this? 2019, before Miss Rowling showed off how much of a hill she really was. And she looked at me that first day. I said, "No." I said, we're gonna be up out and early tomorrow. It's like, we're gonna come when there's not a bazillion and one people. And we had a fun few hours doing that. Ugh, she's such a heel. Fond memories of it though. We had a good time. We enjoyed ourselves. She spent way too much money on pins. She spent like $120 on pins. Pins alone, because she likes pins. Gotta ask if she ever managed to get them all hung up. Because she was talking to me at one point in time about needing to hang them up somehow. And I told her that I'd been seeing people just take the embroidery hoops and get a piece of fabric or an old t-shirt or something and do that, and then they'd put their pins on that. I don't know if she ever did it though. Don't one of you guys want to be shiny, please? My schedule next week should be fairly okay. I won't be taking Wednesday off, but there's a chance I might be taking Thursday off because my dad's hosting a kind of a birthday party for his girlfriend Friday, and I want to get the house a pretty good cleaning like the day before. But that and Saturday should be the only days I miss because I clean Saturday. I cleaned both my places Saturday. But after that, so far, I am back to the regular schedule because visiting is down. And I don't know how much of this is like people not wanting to come to America, which is fine, I get it, or how much of it is just people not being able to afford to come and stay at the cabin I clean. I get a feeling it's a bit more the latter than the former. I don't think we drew bukus and bukus of out-of-state, let alone out-of-country visitors to here, but yeah, we are definitely down since last year. Quite a bit down. Okay, well, maybe not that much down since last year, but generally June and July I have anywhere between like 6 and 8 to or 9 cleanings in a month. But this year it's just not been that. That's fine, because I'm putting in applications either tonight or tomorrow. So I can get a mediocre 9 to 5, which will be a 9 to 2 or something, I'm sure. No one around here wants to pay, wants you there full time, so they don't have to pay you benefits. The one place in town that does apparently do full time, their benefits suck, is told to me by the manager who reviewed me a few years ago before I ended up with the cleaning jobs. But he looks at me and goes, "Don't take their benefits packages, it sucks." It's like, okay then. Me and Dad were talking a little bit about moving the trailer. He's like, yeah, it's time I find someone to borrow a pair of axles for, or we start saving so we can rent a pair for a day for like $700. I was like, yeah. Hopefully we can just find someone who has a pair we can borrow. I say a pair, I think it's just one axle with the wheels on it, but should be plenty of places around town actually that has it, because we do have a trailer park. So the owners there might actually have one we can borrow. I'm gonna put some feelers in, like, dude, just ask your brother. Legit, ask your brother and your buddy. Those are like 2 of the best sources of information we could have. Like, Uncle's already planning on helping us move it. I doubt he would have a problem whatsoever helping us find a pair of axles we could borrow from someone for a day. Like, dang, man, we're only going 10 miles down the road. It's a 12.5-minute drive. Yes, I timed it. Like, I doubt we're gonna need these things for more than like 5 or maybe 6 hours. And then slowly but surely we can start fixing it. Well, I'm gonna give it a really good clean over the course of a few days, depending on the temperature. It'd give it a really, really good scrubbing and stuff everywhere. Because it is still in good shape. There are a couple spots in the roof that need fixed, and a couple of spots in the floor, but other than that, good shape. And, well, it looked like when whoever had lived there, they'd like moved out to do some renovations. Because it looked like they were putting down like new flooring and stuff, and maybe running some new corridor stuff, because there's some spots where the walls have been taken out. I want to say it's drywall, but I don't know if it is drywall. It's whatever it is they put in trailers probably like 10-15 years ago for walls, which can be different materials. Sometimes you get them and they have wood paneling, sometimes it's drywall, sometimes it's this wood that just doesn't take paint. That's all I know about it. Can I trade you? Probably not, no, and I'm not saying that to be mean. I don't have much in this game right now other than Omanyte. What are you needing? And I can't trade the Omanyte because I'm shiny hunting. I need all the Omanyte right now, at least until I get the shiny. But yes, this is the extent of what I have, and from here Oh no, wait, those aren't shiny. A bunch of these down here are shiny, and then these are all for shiny hunting Omanyte. But if you were looking for Omanyte, you can get multiple fossils in game, and you can find them in Cerulean Cave. Like, at a later point, after I finished hunting Omanyte, I would not mind trading Omanyte out to people, but I gotta get the shiny first. But until that happens, I need all 100 of my fossils for whenever I have to reset. But you can get multiples of all 3 fossils in each game. Like I said, Cerulean Cave. I cannot tell you where exactly, but if you look up a map that has like all the items and stuff you can find, it should show you. Need to look and see if there's a video on the Johnstone skip that's been posted. Or just one for fossils and let's go eat vegan Pikachu. Come on, give me a purple feather, please. So I can spend next week hunting in Sword. Alright, should be halfway through this batch of reviving. Ooh. Ear itched. You stubborn little thing. Come on, show me a shiny, please. Oh, just a Switch 1. I am not fortunate enough to have a Switch 2 yet. That'd be like next year probably, but no, it's just regular Switch right now. No, I wish I had a Switch 2, just for that upgrade in graphics for Scarlet and Violet. I do wonder if we'll be getting a special edition Switch 2 for Legends ZA. Or if it'll just be, in general, a special edition Switch, or maybe a Switch Lite. It might be too soon for special edition Switch 2s. It will be interesting, though, to see which game gets one first. Ouch. Oh, gotta stretch for a moment. It would be nice. When the special edition Switch Lights came out for Sword and Shield, I tried to get one for my niece. and they ran out. I think a day or two before I ended up getting the money for one. So that didn't happen. I did get her a switch protector, though, that was based on the colors. It was really nice. It will be interesting to see that if they do any special edition, anything for ZA, what the pattern and stuff will be. Because I don't think Legends Arceus got anything. I know Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl did. Because they got a Switch Lite edition. And then Sword and Shield got a Switch. Or no, they got a Switch Lite as well. It was... I think it was just Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee and Scarlet and Violet that got Switch editions. I'd have to double check that, so don't quote me on it like 100%. Excuse me. Little sleepy. Also, I feel bad. I didn't say hello. Hello, Cat Gamer. I do generally try and say hello to people in my chat. I don't always, but I do try. Come on. Get a feeling this is going to be one of those ones that actually takes me fairly close to odds to get the shiny. I was lucky enough in the trade hunts that it did not take super long. I mean, it still took a few days with each one, except for the first Rattata, but like, I was finished with most of those within like a week. Ooh, excuse me. This is my longest shiny hunt so far. Excuse me. Apparently I'm gonna get the hiccups. Just saw the red and blue books on the tape on some part of my brain. It's like Scarlet and Violet. It's like, no. They weren't putting hints for Scarlet and Violet in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. I wonder if we'll get another, oh, what was it? The little, like, tiki head thing we got in... Welcome back! In X and Y that was a hint for Sun and Moon being, kind of Hawaiian islands. Well, Hawaii / like, Galapagos. The like totem head. Wonder if we'll get something similar to that in Legends ZA that'll be a hint for Gen 10. What was that item called? Ah, well, I guess it don't much matter. I've still not had any luck which you know is why I'm still here. Excuse me. So you were gone for a bit. Everything good? No, I think my favorite, honestly, my favorite special edition Switch was actually probably the Legend of Zelda one. Because that one was nice. Of course, I love anything just kind of like overly fantasy-ish, kind of ancient mythology, past-ish, witchy, you know, whatever vibes. My friend, when she got her new Switch, she got her a case and stuff on it that had like Cthulhu on it. And she sent me one and she's like, this one's yours, and it's Egyptian themed, and it's like, yeah, that would totally be mine. Of course, mine doesn't often leave the dock, so I didn't really have much need of a case. And it's fairly good at keeping it in the travel case I got for it whenever I took it anywhere with me. The one time I took like the entirety of my Switch with me on a trip. I also took my no, I didn't take my PlayStation on that one. Which one was this? It wasn't Nin's funeral. Yeah, it was when we were going on to Florida. Oh, it was my laptop cords and stuff. Had them loose in my suitcase, and my suitcase got randomly searched. Though it could have also been me having my Switch dock in my little metal Pikachu lunchbox. I had a stepbrother have the bomb squad called on him once, and this was years ago. This was like 20 years ago. He didn't have a bomb. He had a football and a pocket knife. And when they sent his stuff through the x-ray, it looked like he had something. So he got pulled to the side and they took his stuff out and searched, and and so he had the whole big ordeal, and it's like, oh dang. This was back when you could apparently carry a pocket knife onto a plane. Of course, to be fair, you also used to be able to smoke in planes, if I'm not mistaken, so, you know. Of course, I always gotta laugh that one of the items on the no-fly list was a crochet hook. And it was like specifically plastic and metal crochet hooks. I was like, yes, I understand if someone really wanted to, they could sharpen the end of this and make it a weapon. It's like, but one person is like, yeah, it says so you don't break them and turn them into a weapon. It's like, have you seen the metal crochet hooks? You ain't breaking one of these in half unless you a bodybuilder. Like, if anything, it should be the wooden ones that aren't allowed on planes. Because those you can definitely probably break if you're strong enough. At least a whole lot easier than you could break a metal one. So funny though, the first time I flew with crochet hooks. Yeah, I can't say first time, but I had to send them home. We mailed them back to the house so I didn't have to worry about it. And the last time I went on a plane with crochet hooks, I was coming back because I sent the thing I was working on ahead through the mail and just had the yarn and the blanket and the hooks and stuff all in the box. And I finished it while I was there and sent it off to a friend in Texas. And when it came to doing my hooks and stuff back, they're like, "Do you want us to mail them to you?" I said, "No, I'm just gonna stick them in the under the plane bag and deal with it." It's like, you're not allowed them in carry-on. It doesn't say anything about in the under the plane stuff. Oh, okay. It's like, yeah, it'd be fine. I didn't get no flack about it. They didn't care. Actually, it's one of those things, if you had yarn with you, they probably wouldn't care if you had them in the plane. I remember being little and thinking that the planes use ramps to get up into the air. I heard my baby move. Are you good? Oh, we're almost done with this batch of trades. I'm not going to do another 100 today, I don't think. Honestly, I'd kind of like to go do dishes and to take a nap. Fight with Twitch. Yes, let's bring it back. I have 9 more chances to get this shiny. I mean, that's itty bitty teeny tiny odds, but it's not impossible. I'd very much love to get the shiny on 1900. I doubt that's gonna happen, but it'd be fun. Look at this little purple dude that took me 1900 revivals to get. That'd be kind of a fun challenge, would be doing a black and white filter on your, just turning your screen colors black and white, then doing a shiny hunt that way. Not so much with the ones that barely change a shade, but with the ones with like vast dramatic differences in their colors. Ones that go from being like white to a neon color or something. That'd be kind of fun. I don't think I'd want to mess with the settings on my screen that much though. Oh, he woke up again. Has been in there snoozing on and off while this movie plays. Come on. I have hopes that I'll get this before 3,000, but my luck might not be that good. This might be a fairly close to full odds hunt. Which, if it is, it is. If it isn't, it... This guy's talking to us. Anyways, like I said, if it is, it is. If it isn't, it isn't. I don't know what that last one was. It thundered and I looked up. If you can get the flicking so fast in that the Omanyte just don't register. We might get a little bit of rain. I guess I could check the weather app and see. Why is it showing no internet connection? I have Wi-Fi. Dude, we've done this like 1900 times. You should know it's an Omanyte by now. Oh, surprise, surprise, I got an ad. I'm sorry, I feel like weather apps are one of those things that you should not really have ads on. Especially when you're trying to look at the radar. Aw. Double check and make sure that was the last one. Oh, it wasn't. I was one off. Couple of little globs coming our way. Nothing huge, though. Wow, I was more than one off this time. How many off am I? I'd say I have a misclick or two on occasion, but usually it's never more than one or two. Well, actually, I think my highest one has been 3, but... Oh, I was 4 off. Okay. How that happened, I don't know. Alright, do this last one. Nope, no shiny. Alright, and I'll be back Monday. I'll do another 3,000, which will put me to 2,200. I hope you guys have a good evening, and I hope your Sunday is nice, and I'll see you guys Monday. Bye-bye.